Okay, can y'all hear now in there? Is there sound in there now? Any sound?
There's sound. Yeah.
Y'all did hear?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, let's start over again. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I know I'm late with this class, but this is our series of enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. The last time we met for this class, we spoke about how in order to go about enjoining the good and forbidding the evil, we have to first make sure that our love and our hate is in sync with what Allah loves and hate. What does that mean? We have to love what Allah loves. And what does Allah love? He loves everything that he made lawful. That's why we have to be very, very careful using the word haram. Okay, the things that Allah hates are the things he made haram. If you're going to be enjoining the good, but it's based on what you like, what you like, and not what Allah likes, then you're not in a position to say or do anything. So let's take a look at those hadiths. Let me put the hadiths up on the screen for that. Give me a second. Okay, let's go just my regular way. Oops, it's showing y'all that. I know. Which one is it? This here, I think is. Oh, girl, that's the picture. Where's the power? Girl, this is not a good day. Everything's messed up. Okay, did I delete the PowerPoint? What a person. Oh, this must be it. Yeah. Okay, give me a second. Okay, inshallah, this should be, okay, this should be the PowerPoint. Okay, started from the beginning. So when it comes to enjoining the good and forbidding the evil, what a person loves and hates must be in accordance with the order of Allah and his prophet. In other words, if it's unless Allah hated it or the prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam hated it, then you're not in a position to enjoin anything, because all you're going to do is cause harm. Listen to what Allah says in the Quran and the interpretation of the meaning. O you who believe, do not put forth anything in front of Allah and his messenger. What does that mean? Well, as Muslims, we are obligated to look closely into our likes and dislikes, and to look closely at the intensity of our love, and make sure that the things we love are in accordance to what Allah loves. For example, if you love to smoke cigarettes, this is a bad thing, because cigarettes is something that Allah hates. He hates everything he made haram. You love marijuana, you love alcohol. You know, you have to change that, because anyone who loves or hates before Allah and his messenger have ordered them to do so has entered into the area of putting something in front of Allah. And this is what shirk is. Your love for cigarettes is greater than your love for Allah. That's why you can't stop smoking. Your love for marijuana is greater than your love for Allah. Your love for sex is greater than your love for Allah. So again, simple loves and hates are inclinations or desires of the soul. But the inclinations that are forbidden to us are the ones that go against the commands of Allah. This is why Allah told the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, do not follow your desires and inclinations, because they will lead you astray from the path of Allah. And for those who go astray from the path of Allah, there awaits them a terrible punishment. So as Muslims, this is a struggle for us. This is a jihad for us to make sure that our likes and dislikes are in sync with Allah. Because you don't like divorce. You can't go around telling people that it's haram to get divorced, or even tell them that divorce is bad, because it's not bad. Divorce is good. As Allah says, perhaps you hate something that Allah brings good about. Allah knew exactly what he was doing. Allah knows his creation. He knows that some of us are oppressive against others. Why would I stay in a marriage with a deadbeat loser? Divorce is good and clean. So you divorce. You don't sit there and stay in a bad, unhappy, oppressive relationship. So we have to train. That's just an example. You know, we have to train our likes and dislikes to be in sync with what Allah likes and with what he dislikes. And again, and this is something we need to ponder, because tomorrow will begin the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. And as Sheikh Saud said, Dhul Hijjah, the first 10 days, you want to do good deeds. As many good deeds as you can. You don't have to fast, like some people are going around saying. But you should do as many good deeds as you can. And fasting is not the only good deed. Helping your mother, like he said, helping your parents, checking on your neighbors, being kind to people, smiling at your friends. You know, these are all good deeds. So let's talk about good deeds. Enjoining good and forbidding evil is one of the most obligatory actions. And it's the best one. It's the most praiseworthy one. Remember, guys, Allah says he will test you. He will test to see which of us are best in actions. So, you know, if you want to, you know, be nice and encourage your brother, encourage your sister, you know, to pray, to help their mother around the house with the dishes, that's a good deed. If you want to try to cook a nice dinner to make your husband happy, that's a good deed. You want to bring your wife a bouquet of roses just to say, you know, I love you. That's a good deed. But we have to understand something that I've been trying to explain to you sisters for the past year. All good deeds that we do, they must be done solely for the sake of Allah. If you're doing a good deed to please somebody else, then Allah doesn't accept it. The example, Allah commands the Muslim woman to obey her husband in what Allah commanded her to obey him in. Let's do the whole sentence. Allah didn't say obey your husband. No, no, no. He didn't say, oh, please your husband, your whole purpose. No, this is shirk. No, 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 no. Let's do the whole sentence, brothers. Stop leaving out the important part. Obey your husbands in what Allah commanded you to obey them in. So please your husbands, you know, in the where he needs to be pleased, where Allah commanded you to please him. That's good deeds for these 10 days. You might want to go out and get your hair done and just have a date night. We're going to have a date night. We're going to take the kids, you know, over to their cousin's house, their aunt's house for the weekend. And me and my hubby, we're just going to have date night. That's a good deed. That's a good deed. Look at the reward you get for that. You know, cook a nice meal, something that your husband likes to eat. That's a good deed. See, these are the things Allah commanded us to obey our husband in, to guard in his absence, what he would have us guard, to satisfy him where we're supposed to satisfy him at. Okay? All that other stuff, covering your face, that ain't about that. Nope, nope, nope. A woman ain't got to cover her face and be no ugly cyclops or no depraved soul. Nowhere does Allah say obey your husband in something that I didn't command you to obey him in. And for you sisters that say y'all doing it to please him, I want y'all to ponder this reality. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that Allah says, I am the partner least in need of any other. Whenever someone does an action partly for me and partly for an imagined partner, I am free of that action. And it is wholly for that person who you associated with me. There's your dalil. So you don't cover your face to please your husband. Because if you did it to please your husband, what did Allah say? He ain't in need of it. You worshiping your husband. Your husband is your God. You're putting yourself through oppression because your husband is your Lord. That's why we have a high divorce rate. Oh yeah, cause and effect. You women better get it together. Stop letting these men half teach this religion to you. You only obey him in what Allah commanded. And any good deeds you do, they're done for Allah only. That's Tawheed. That's the basis of Islam. This is the religion that Allah sent to all the prophets. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So what are good deeds? Any good action, as long as it doesn't violate the laws of Allah, the commands of Allah, is a good deed. But it has to be done strictly for the sake of Allah. Also, good deeds are the actions of obedience. When you make your prayers, that's a good deed. When you do the voluntary prayers, it's a good deed too. Wearing your hijab is a good deed. Covering your body the way Allah commanded when you leave the house, that's a good deed. So the good deeds are the righteous actions which Allah has obligated us to. Okay? The good deeds are everything that's good and clean that Allah made lawful for us. The bad deeds are actions of disobedience. The bad deeds are to not fulfill your obligations. The bad deeds are oppression and transgression. You women need to stop getting it twisted. Hashtag don't get it twisted. Don't allow your husbands or anyone else to oppress you. Don't allow your husbands or anyone else to cause you to transgress your Lord. So, in order for Allah to accept your good deeds, you have to first of all do it for his sake alone. That's the intention. Secondly, whatever the action is, you have to do it the way Allah commanded us to do. For example, if I want to prepare a nice meal for my husband, this is a good deed. This is something that falls in the category of what Allah commanded me to do for my husband. So I'm doing it to please Allah because I know that Allah commanded me to guard in my husband's absence what he would have me to guard. And this is that, cooking for him, cleaning for him. So I'm doing it not for my husband. I'm doing it to please Allah because it's something Allah commands me to do. But now I have to do it the way Allah legislated. So I can't go out and decide, I know my husband told me that before he became Muslim, he liked chitterlings. So I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy a bucket of chitterlings. And I'm going to cook that. Chitterlings is pork. Allah doesn't accept a good deed. You know, it has to be done the way Allah legislated. You have to cook what's lawful. Cook it the way Allah legislated. I'm not going to serve the meat to my husband raw because Allah has forbidden us from eating raw meat. So I'm going to cook it. So that's the second condition. If you want Allah to accept your good deeds anytime, especially during these days of Dhul Hijjah, whatever you're doing, you do it with the intentions only of pleasing Allah. And secondly, you do it the way Allah legislated. Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. The most truthful names are Harit, which means he who tills the earth, and Hamam, which means one who ever sets objectives and seeks their fulfillment. These are two truthful names. You're going to work the earth and you're going to set objectives for yourself, and seek fulfillment from Allah. Everyone is a tiller and a seeker of objectives. Everyone has actions and everyone has intentions. However, the only praiseworthy intention which Allah accepts and rewards are the ones done solely for Him. So again, you women saying that y'all cover your faces to please your husband, a'udhu billahi. Allah is not accepting that. First of all, it's not an obligation. Secondly, you ain't getting no reward for it. You're just subjecting yourself through oppression, because Allah does not accept any deed unless it's done for Him. So the fact that you said you doing it because your husband asked you to and you pleasing him, Allah didn't accept it. Your husband is your God. See where you're going to get with that. See what's going to happen to you when you're in that grave. When Allah asks you, why did you worship your husband? Why did you take him as your Lord instead of me? So the praiseworthy deeds are the righteous deeds. And the righteous deed is done for the sake of Allah. And this is why every time Umar, radiallahu anha, used to make supplication, he was always adding his supplication, "Oh Allah, make all of my deeds righteous and make them all purely for your sake. And do not make me take part in any share at all for someone else." Y'all see this, the faith of the companions. By the way, Aisha radiallahu anha used to make a similar supplication too. The female companions did not worship their husbands. They didn't worship the Prophet Muhammad. They used to make dua similar to this, saying, "Oh Allah, make all my actions be for your sake only and not for the sake of anyone else, because that's a righteous deed." So wearing covering your face to please your husband is not a righteous deed for that reason, because you didn't do it for Allah. You're doing it for someone other than Him. And this is the same when it comes to enjoining good and forbidding the evil. If you're going to tell someone that they're doing something wrong, why are you approaching that person? Are you approaching that person because you really want what's best for him or her? Or are you doing it to shame them? Are you doing it to belittle them out of your own jealousy or your own dislike? So we have to think about this before we get up in another person's space and call ourselves correcting them. Why are you correcting me? What is it you want out of this? You trying to take me down? You trying to belittle me? Or do you really want what's best for me? Okay. So I'm going to stop right here for today. This is a lot to ponder. It wasn't that much to discuss, but it's a whole lot to ponder, because all of us call ourselves enjoining good. We all call ourselves forbidding evil. But how many of us are doing it for the right reason? How many of us are doing it for the sake of Allah? A lot of people are doing it, to belittle others, to shame others, to bring other people down. You see it a lot on YouTube with these brothers, unfortunately. They attack each other, belittle each other, shame each other, embarrass each other. And again, the action has to be the way Allah legislated too. And that's what we're going to speak about when we meet for this class again. How does Allah say that we correct one another? Do we do it publicly? Or do you wait until my stream is over? We'll talk about that. So I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions or comments? Sister Santisa, you on the internet, you don't know what a hashtag is? You use a computer. You don't know what a hashtag is? Somebody show her what a hashtag is. Do y'all think I would talk about drugs? I'm a Muslim woman. Do y'all think that I would be telling y'all to drug something? Somebody type on the screen what hashtag is. Y'all got to get computer literate. That's a hashtag, Santisa. That's a hashtag. We don't do drugs here at Sunnahfollowers. We're Muslims. Any other questions? Hashtag don't get it twisted. Yeah, I tell y'all, America's education is bad. We all use a computer and they don't know what the hashtag is. And we use the hashtag every time we type. Tell y'all, kids can't read either. Y'all talking about moving to America. I'm telling y'all, America's got the worst educational system in the world. Our kids, they fail reading comprehension. I'm going to tell y'all something. Give these kids a test, have them read a paragraph and try to figure out what's happening. Our reading comprehension sucks. We type on the computer and our phones and don't know what the hashtag symbol is. Probably don't know the email symbol either. No. I had somebody ask me that too. I said at Gmail. They said, how do I write at Gmail? A-T? I said A-T, at. Don't you know the sign for at? They said, how do I type it? Laila, A-T, Gmail? I said, it's the at sign. That's America. And they don't take care of the elderly. Don't get it twisted. Hashtag don't get it twisted. America does not take care of the elderly either. The cheering, their education sucks, and they treat the elderly bad. Once you turn 50, America don't care about you. It's all about harvesting your body parts. Oh yeah, they'll pull the plug on you and sell, harvest your heart, your kidneys, your liver. It's America. Hashtag America. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Yeah, tomorrow is Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow. Yes, brother. The brother's asking about my class. Yeah, my 6 o'clock class is tomorrow. And we have the Call In and Ask Sister Laila live show. Hashtag Ask Sister Laila. By the way, that's a hashtag too. When I be doing my SEO for my website, the coding, you type Ask Sister Laila and I pop up. Hashtag Ask Sister Laila Live. Ask Sister Laila Live, and Ask Sister Laila Live show. All that is hashtagged. And they also got hashtag Don't Get It Twisted. That's me. Hashtag Let's Talk About It. That's me too. I'm like, whoa, they got me in these hashtags. Yeah, but the call-in is at the call-in is tomorrow at 9, inshallah. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to log out for tonight. I'm going to try to put these videos out from today, and I'm going to make some shorts for y'all too. All right? Okay. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.